Okay, what are you saying, people, and welcome back to another live stream. Now, before we get into this today, make sure you follow me on my Telegram channel. I'll left a link to that in the live chat and also in the description below. As I'll be posting a lot of different trading setups there throughout the week, and you don't want to be missing out on that, so make sure you go check that out. But like I said, I've got another live stream for you. Going to talk you through what's happening in the charts and see if you've got any opportunities coming up. So first, we've got AUD/USD. You can see here. We recently had a push to the upside of the forward chart. It looks like the market has found some resistance on the 4H around here. As you can see, we kind of tested it a couple of times in the lower time frames, and we had a strong close to the downside. So potentially could see a bit more of a pullback today for AUD/USD. Again, if we get past this level here, we could potentially go a lot further. We still do have a little bit of a trend line going through the market here, keeping us in that upwards trend line. So again, could potentially be seeing a move to go and test that area, which again, if we get a break of that previous resistance and support, that's potentially where price could probably go for AUD/USD. So expecting a swing to the downside here. We found some resistance there, we've got some support there, so if you break through that, probably go to the trend line, and if you break through that, probably again could go a lot further if you do break that trend line. But for now, expecting a move into that area at least. You can see on the daily chart, we recently had a push to the upside, so again, looking for some retracement from a daily point of view as well. EUR/USD as well, for this one, we saw a big push to the downside. We did see price kind of break above this area of resistance past couple of days. As you can see, resistance all across here, we broke above it. Price kind of retested it as support, but then still fell back under. So EUR/USD does look like it's running out steam to the upside. You can see the price action is really choppy as well. You can see previously before that, price action was quite strong. We had nice strong moves to the upside, but now we can see it's very choppy. A lot of bearish candles coming back into the market here. So it is showing signs that it's slowing down, running out of that bullish momentum, and we could be seeing some counter trend moves to the downside for USD happening soon. Of course, you can see we kind of broke back below, so a bit of a false breakout really. Again, all resistance here, broke above and then broke back below, so a bit of a false breakout there. It could potentially see a break of this trend line here for EUR/USD and a longer swing back to the downside, and see again more of a counter move on the daily chart. You can see we're kind of choppy there. Could be seeing a swing to the downside, finally back to that 1.2 area here. Again, this is all previous weekly and daily resistance will be turned support. So again, if you do see a break of that trend line, could potentially see a counter move into this area, and the price could either bounce back up again maybe, or maybe go a little bit lower depending on how the price action is when we do get there. But price is starting to look bearish, and I'm probably expecting a break of this trend line soon here, and expecting price to continue to the downside here and give us more of a counter trend move, since we had such a big push to the upside, and price needs to look like it wants to retrace the moves it had. Again, if I measure this move here for USD from the lows here all the way to the highs here, you can see over 700 pips. So again, we need to retrace those 700 pips, not obviously the whole thing, doesn't have to do that, but we can see some drop there, a few pips, and probably catch a nice counter move to the downside, potentially to this 1.2 area here, which again is weekly resistance, which we turn support. So that's potentially where price could go to for USD. USD/JPY, we have seen a big push to the upside here. It looks like again we had a false breakout there. We saw a bit of a false breakout on the 4-hourly time frame a couple of days ago. We saw a nice strong close, and price came back up again. You can see on the daily chart there with the wick, and you can see on the daily chart we had a false breakout as well. You can see that bearish candle there closing below, and the next candle just coming right back above. So again, we are starting to look bullish again for USD/JPY. All this area is now turned a daily support, so again we are looking very strong here. Potentially could be finally seeing a fifth test of this trend line in the market. So again, you can see very strong trend line here in the market, keeping us in that downtrend. Initial test there, second, third, fourth, could be due our fifth test here. Still expecting price to at least get back to this key level in the market here, acting as resistance and support, so very key level. So that's why I expect price is on, expecting price to go for the next target. As you can see, support there, resistance, resistance, resistance. So a really strong key level going through the market there. So I do expect price to eventually get to this area. It might see a pullback first, but as you can see in the 4-hourly chart, I had a very big push to the upside for the 10 a.m. candle. You see in the hourly there, big push to the upside. So naturally, again, we expect to see some retrace before we expect to move to the upside there. So USD/JPY, I do think we can have further movement to the upside here, at least go and test that level, or probably the trend line just above it on the daily chart. USD we had another strong push to the upside again. You can see all this area's previous resistance there. It was holding, and now looks like we've broken back above it potentially on the hourly chart. Again, you probably want more of a daily close above this since it's a daily level. Because again, we could just have a wick today and price pulls back well in the day. But again, we potentially could be seeing a push to the upside if price does close similar to how it's looking now on the daily chart. It's looking like we've got a bit of a morning star pattern there, and could be seeing a push to the upside. So again, for this one, I still expect a push to the upside even in the long term. You can see in the weekly chart we had a big push to the downside. We had a break below this area here, a really key level of support. Didn't really get a retest, so potentially could see price come and test this area potentially from a weekly point of view. Again, we expect push to the upside for that to happen, and potentially see price roll back over again, or maybe have a deeper counter move if we eventually go and break through that area. But USD is looking bullish in the 4 hourly time frame. Again, could we see some retrace first, but nonetheless expecting that to continue to the upside there. Let's take a look at CHF JPY. CHF JPY, not too much up with this one. You can see we're slowly kind of trickling to the upside here. Do have a bit of a trend line here in the market. So again, nothing too major here. Probably do expect price to eventually come back to the highs for CHF JPY. You can see we do have our resistance just above here, where price around resistance gave us that move to the downside. So again, I probably expect price to eventually make its way to the upside here, to the highs there, maybe even create a higher high if you do get enough momentum. But you can see this was the last swing high that we tested on the daily as well. Big push to the upside, bit of retrace there, and back to the highs again. So probably expect price to get to the highs again, and again, it probably depends on the price action we get when we get there. If we get some strong bullish momentum, then maybe price could potentially look to create some new highs. But again, very strong area of resistance. You can see it held the market twice before, so it just depends what type of price action we get when we get there. But I do expect CHF to continue to rise to go and test that level of resistance up there. Might see a pullback into this trend line though before that happens. That is a possibility, because you can see initial test there, second, could see a third before we get that move up higher. But I do think the price is going to eventually go and test the resistance level all the way up there. Euro JPY, still looking a little bit bullish for this one. You can see we're right back at the highs though for this one. So again, yesterday I did say we'll probably get pushed to the upside, and you can see price kind of just starts at the highs up here. So again, probably going to see some retrace in the market here. Very strong push to the upside on the 4 hourly chart. Yesterday didn't really see much retrace of that. You see very strong bullish candle there at 10 a.m. I believe, and then price kind of just trickled to the upside. So probably going to see some retrace from that area. Again, very strong resistance there. Probably going to see a swing to the downside first. But potentially you can see price create some higher highs with this one. As you can see on the daily chart, we're kind of just moving sideways a little bit. So still haven't really broken out of that consolidation that we've been having for the past 3 or 4 weeks now. Haven't broken out of that. As you can see, price is still kind of moving sideways there. So and it's not too certain for this pair, but again, we're right back at the highs. Is showing that it's failing to break through it. So again, probably expecting a push to the downside for Euro JPY, and then potentially maybe a move back into that same area again. Next we'll take a look at GBJPY. Now this one again is looking bullish. You can see price held this area of support on the 4 hourly time frame here. Tested it once, tested it twice, and now another push to the upside. So again, looks like we're going to come back up to this level. Got a bit of a range here, got clear resistance there, clear support there, so price is clearly consolidating. If we break to the upside, I probably expect price to come to the highs on the daily chart. As you can see here, this level around 142. You can see this is the level that sent us all the way down to these lows here. So I think price is just slowly making its way back to go and test that level again before we start to see any major pushes to the downside for GBJPY. So if we break to the upside, that's what I expect price to go to. Break to the downside, we do have this trend line price. Might want to go and have a test of, as you can see here. Initial test there, second, third, fourth. Could be seeing a fifth test of this trend line if you do break to the downside through that support level. But as you can see, we had a really strong push off that support, coming back to the highs. You can see how it reacts there. Break to the upside, I think 142 is where we could be going, but we see a swing back to the downside, might just be a triple top sort of thing, and then price breaks to the support and goes and tests that trend line again for a fifth test. Let's take a look at GPUSD. Again, GPUSD, not too much has happened. Kind of still moving sideways for this pair. You can see recently had a very strong push to the downside, and this area is all previous daily support. again. So again, price is just kind of just consolidating at that support area. Can't make its mind up whether it wants to break through it or hold or not. So far it is holding. I can't really judge the price action though, because it's kind of just a little bit all over the place. This whole area is practically just consolidation really, so again, can't really judge that. But right now, not too much happening for GBUSD. If you see a break to the downside, probably see more of a counter trend move for this one. Push back to the upside, probably create some new higher highs maybe, and just continue the trend on. But right now, not too much to go with for GBUSD. On the daily chart, we do have this trend line here in the market. I'll zoom out a little bit more, and so again we do have this trend line here in the market, which we haven't had a test of for a little bit now. As you can see in this year test there, second, third, fourth, didn't quite make it with those wicks there, but again we haven't quite made a test of this trend line here. So if we do see a counter trend move, potentially could see a move into this area potentially and see a deeper retrace for GBUSD, but as of yet kind of just going sideways, no real trade opportunity for us there, and price just trending sideways there. So we just need to see which way price could potentially break out to. Next, going to take a look at Euro NZD. Now Euro NZD, we saw a push to the downside recently for this one. Price is still looking quite bearish here on the daily chart. As you can see, broke the recent swing low. So again, this was the previous support area, push to the downside. Had some retrace and then break the swing low. So price is still looking bearish for Euro NZD on the daily chart. Could be some retest of this level as previous area of daily support and daily resistance. As you can see, all this area was previous support. Could see a push into this area as resistance now. So again, probably expecting a push to the upside, but we are still looking very bearish and a very strong area of resistance above us. So as long as price doesn't get above that, I probably still expect price to give us another push lower for Euro NZD here. From a weekly point of view, it does look like potentially going to come to this area of the market here. As you can see here, very strong area of support here, which gave us that move to the upside. So I think there's still a little bit of room to move to the downside for Euro NZD from a weekly point of view, so potentially could see that happen. But as of a daily point of view, we just closed below there, so potentially could see a false breakout maybe if we get like today or tomorrow's candle close back above. 4 hourly, not much to go with. Strong push to the downside, and price looks like it's just retracing a little bit. So again, still looking bearish here. Potentially could see a move back into this area though, but again that will be acting as daily resistance. Next one, take a look at Euro GBP. Now Euro GBP saw a strong push to the downside well this morning anyway. And not too much with this pair. As you can see, very choppy price action on the daily chart, very up and down, but I'm probably expecting another push to the downside for Euro JPY for this pair. As you can see, we're kind of just making those lower lows and those lower highs. Price kind of found a top here in the market, so you can see a big push to the upside, kind of double top, push to the downside, and now we're making lower lows and lower highs. So as you can see, lower low, lower high, lower low, potentially lower higher there, and probably see another drop to the downside for Euro GBP, maybe back into this area here in the market, or probably a lot further, maybe to this strong support area that we have down here, which gave us the move to the upside in the first place. So biases to the downside for GBJPY, expecting another push and potentially to break the recent swing low that we had there. But again, very choppy price action on the daily chart, so kind of hard to make the judgment there. I do think price will probably want to move to the downside rather than back up again. But again, if you do see a break of this previous resistance there, probably see a push a lot higher, maybe back to the highs there. But Euro GBP is starting to look very bearish here, and probably expect that to continue a lot further. Yeah, I'll take a look at Euro CHF. Okay, Euro CHF, I'll start on the daily chart. So again, for this one, we're going to push the downside, so push back up again. So Euro CHF, quite unclear price action on the daily here. But again, we did see a break of that swing low. So again, all this area here will all be daily resistance. So again, all that support there will be daily resistance. So again, potentially could see a swing back down again here, but again, quite unclear on the daily chart. 4 hourly, you had a push to the upside here. Looking like we're testing this area here, which was all support and resistance. Potentially could see a swing to the downside in the 4 hourly as well. Maybe back to the swing low here. As you can see, we're kind of just making those lower lows and those lower highs. Push to the upside, very strong on the 4 hourly chart. If I jump to the hourly, Again, probably expecting a swing to the downside for this one as well. You can see we're kind of failing to break through that area, and very choppy price action there on the hourly chart. So from an hourly point of view, probably seeing a swing to the downside, maybe to go and test the support there, or at least this level here, which was previous resistance. I'll turn support as well. So probably going to be expecting a push to the downside for EUR/CHF, but in my opinion, this chart is quite messy, quite unclear to be fair. But yeah, probably more expecting a swing to the downside rather than back up again. But again, probably just be a bit careful because EUR/CHF does wick quite a lot, so you can get a lot of false movements in this pair, so you need to watch out for that, and probably maybe give yourself a little bit more room in your stop loss. But again, probably expecting a swing to the downside, that price action there. Let's like to swing back up again. Looks like price is finding that resistance there, so probably going to see another drop from that area potentially, maybe back to create a new swing low potentially if price gains that bearish momentum. But you see in the daily chart, we did have a strong bullish candle going up there, so need to be aware of that. But potentially could see a move to the downside there for EUR/CHF, but probably not a trade that I'll hang on for too long, just because how EUR/CHF is moving quite choppy, and price is going up and down, so quite hard to get a nice swing out of that. So I need to be aware of that. But yeah, probably expecting a swing to the downside for EUR/CHF, at least to this level here in the market. See resistance there, will be 10 supports. That is a real key level there in the market. So hope that analysis helped on EUR/CHF there. And next we'll take a look at USD CAD, which is actually a trade that I'm in currently. Looking for a push to the upside here. You can see prices kind of finding a little bit of a support here on the Friday chart. You can see support there, push to the downside, push back up again, very strong push upside. I didn't get in on that candle, I actually got in on the 10 a.m. candle there, and then you got support there as well. So looking for a swing back to the upside there for USD CAD. Looks like price is struggling to break through this low really, and probably seeing a longer push to the upside. Do have this trend line that I am aware of currently for USD CAD, as you can see, acting as resistance all across there. So again, we'll be seeing how price reacts to that, because that potentially could send us back down. But if you do see a break of that trend line, probably expect the price to go a lot further to the upside for USD CAD. And also GPAUD, I'm also looking for a swing to the upside for this one, to go and test this previous level of support, going to be turning resistance. So looking for a swing at least to that level, break through that, potentially could see a swing back to this level here in the market, extend that across. So again, support there, resistance. So two key levels potentially could see a push to. Again, first target will be there, but if you do see a break of that, then expecting a move into that area there potentially for GPAUD. So both long trades and both looking for a swing to the upside. Going to see how they get on, and see if we can see some nice swings to the upside. If anyone else wants me to look at any different charts and different markets, just put it in the live chat, and I'll make sure I'll give you some analysis or my opinions on that pair to see which direction it could potentially go. So yeah, just going to see how my trades get on as well. Look at a few other pairs to see how they develop, but I'm just going to see how they get on. And if anyone wants me to look at any different charts, just put it in the live chat, and I'll give you my opinions on that pair. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at GBP USD. Okay, so for this one, 4 hourly chart kind of just moving sideways, as you can see, kind of just consolidating there. Not too much to report on for GBUSD on the 4 hourly chart though. Hourly, you can see a little bit clearer. You can see a push to downside, retrace, push to downside. So again, probably can see price again leak to the downside. Clearly found some resistance here in the market in the hourly time frame, and probably going to see another push to downside back into the support level though. Again, not sure if we're going to get a break of that support level or not. As you can see, it's holding quite well previously there and there again. So very strong support there. Probably looking to take profit if you do get to that level. If you do get a break, pricing potentially go a lot further probably, and that's where we start to see the bigger time frames coming in into the market there on the 4 hourly and probably the daily there as well. Because again, from a daily point of view, potentially can see a retrace back into this trend line here and then see price continue to the upside. From a daily point of view, but 4 hourly again just moving sideways, key support area the lows there. So from an hourly point of view, you could probably see the price leak to the downside again, test that support area, breaks for it again, potentially could see price go a lot further there. But again, safe side there, that support could send the price back up again potentially. So probably going to expect price to lead to the downside for GBUSD back into the support, then probably see how price reacts with that support there level if you get a break or if price holds, and then probably see where you can change the bias to again if price is holding, maybe see another bounce to the upside here, because again that's 3 attempts and 3 times price has failed, so probably could be seeing price come back to the highs again potentially. But again, if you start to see some strong bearish price action similar to the ones that we had here and there breaking through that level, price can go a lot further to the downside and probably start to see the higher time frames come into the market a lot more. So hope that analysis helped on GBUSD. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at Euro USD. Okay, so for this one, we are starting to look quite bearish here. Again, probably expecting a move to the downside now. Again, we do have this trend line here, which looks like price is currently testing. If you do get a break of this trend line, probably going to see more of a counter trend move and see that push to the downside for Euro USD. As you can see with the price action here, we're kind of just moving to the upside here. And you can see we're kind of moving quite correctly. We broke past this area of previous resistance on the Friday chart, but you can see it was just a false breakout on price and broke back below that area of resistance. So again, previous resistance there was turned support, but price didn't hold and just fell right through it. So we are starting to look quite bearish here for Euro USD, but again, it is holding this this trend line so far. Is holding this trend line so far, so potentially you could see a bounce to the upside. But if you do see a break of this, I'm probably expecting price to go a lot further to the downside. Again, you can see on the daily chart we've had a big push to the upside. Going to be expecting some retrace of this move again. 700 pips to the upside, going to be seeing some retrace soon. And you can see with the price actually moving quite choppy there on the daily as well. When we're over here, we had strong bullish momentum. Now, as you can see here, we're starting to run out. So it is showing signs that potentially price might fall to the downside. Again, this is probably the trend line that I'm probably going to use to determine where we can potentially go if we do see a break. But if price does hold, potentially again, probably going to see another push to the upside there. Again, do have that support area here as well. We can resistance support there, currently testing that level. So just depends for me if price doesn't hold this level or holds this level. If we don't hold it, I'm going to be expecting more of a counter trend move for USD and then push to the downside, maybe to that 1.2 area on the daily chart. As you can see, this area all across here, 1.2 here, very strong weekly and daily resistance will be turned support. So from a long-term point of view, price could eventually get there. Currently, right now, testing that trend line. You can see in the hourly there as well, testing that trend line as well. So could see a bounce to the upside, but again, very strong bearish momentum here. And since we did have a bit of a false breakout there, could see a break of that trend line. And if we do, going to be seeing more of a counter trend move to the downside. So yeah, it is currently testing support level and testing that trend line. Could potentially see a bounce, but again, you have to wait for confirmation there to take any trades there. But right now, since we had that false breakout and a very strong move from it as well, it looks like it does have that momentum to take out those levels, take out that trend line and see it move to the downside. Obviously, unless we get some strong bullish candles coming back the other way, then price can potentially keep on making those higher highs. But for the price action that we do have now, potentially could be seeing a swing to the downside for Euro USD. So I hope that analysis held with Euro USD there. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at GPJPY for a potential move to the downside. So GPJPY currently so far on the 4-hourly time frame looking bullish. I still think there's probably a little bit of room left to the upside, at least to go and test this area here in the market. As you can see, resistance there on the 4-hourly time frame. So far, price is kind of just moving sideways for GPJPY between the resistance and that support there down below in the 4-hourly time frame. So again, kind of just moving sideways. So just depending on which way price wants to break out to. Possibly could see a break to the upside. Again, we do have this resistance here, which gave us that big move to the downside, which price might want to go and test. So again, that will be a break to the upside, break to the downside. Probably going to test this trend line here in the market. Again, you can see initial test there, second, third, fourth. Could be seeing a fifth test. So far though, kind of just moving between that resistance and that support. Again, probably a little bit room left to the upside for GPJPY to really go and test the area up there. You can see on the hourly, still I reckon we could got a bit of room to move to there before we see any moves to the downside. But again, just going to have to see what type of price action we get in that area. If you get some strong bullish price action, price will probably ever break up to the upside. But if price looks like it's rejecting it for a third time, could easily see a swing back down to the support. And if you break through that again, probably see a longer move to go and test the trend line down there. But so far, kind of just moving sideways, kind of not right at the resistance yet, so probably a bit early to look for shorts in my opinion. But I reckon a little bit more of a push to the upside to go and test the highs, see what type of price action we get, and then either we see a swing back down again or see prices shoot through and continue higher to create some new highs for GPJPY. So again, I hope that analysis helped for that pair. Okay, so it's just gone 12:30, so I'm going to look to wrap up the live stream in a little bit. We're going to do a quick rundown on some of the pairs that are last spoken at 10 a.m. and see how they've gone. So AUD still looking bearish here, again approaching that support area like I said. Might see a reaction there, but again, if you do see that bearishness continue, probably expect to move down into this trend line here, and then potentially maybe a bounce back up again if you do hold, or if you break through again, more of a reversal there, maybe a counter trend move for AUD. But again, currently testing that support. If it doesn't hold, probably see a longer swing back downside. If it does hold, probably see another push back to the upside, probably retest the resistance potentially. But AUD price action is still bearish on the hourly chart. And again, if you see a break of that, potentially price can go a lot further. Your USD currently getting rejected from this trend line here in the market. As you can see, initial test there, second, third, fourth, fifth. Now currently having a sixth test. So again, potentially could see another push to the upside though. We do have again another hour and a half before these 4H candles close. So again, a lot of movement could occur before they close. Again, this current candle could close bullish, could close bearish. We'll find out 2 p.m. and then we'll act on that. Because again, don't want to be acting on the moving candles, because again, when they close, could look completely different from when you made your judgment. So need to wait for closed candles here. Use the CAD as well, putting back a little bit there. You're looking quite nice earlier on. You can see we'll pull back. Still in this trade though. My stop loss is below the support there in the market. Daily still expecting to see more of a counter trend move to the upside here for USD CAD. Again, so far looks like we could be holding that support. I want to be seeing that move higher. But again, looks like we're pulling back. We'll check again how the candle closes in about an hour and a half's time at 2 p.m. when they close. But currently still in the trade and probably will be in it again for tomorrow as well. USD big push to the upside here, as you can see, broke below this support at the resistance and then closed back above. So basically a fake out there. And we saw price give a really nice move to the upside. So looking very bullish for USD. Obviously, can be expecting some retrace now, big push to the upside. And again, USD does move quite choppy when it does move. So probably we see some retrace here in the market, but probably could be seeing a deeper swing to the upside here, maybe to test the trend line here for a fifth test. As you can see, initial test there, second, third, fourth. Could be seeing that fifth test, or maybe coming up to this key level here in the market, which was acting as both support and resistance. So again, really key level. We haven't quite tested it yet in the market there. So you can see support there, support, resistance, resistance, resistance. So UCHY looking very bullish here. Probably going to see some retrace first, but looking very bullish there. UCHF again looking bullish as well. Probably expecting a swing to the upside as well. You can see previous swing low, broke below it. Looks like getting back above it now. And on the daily as well, we do have that morning star pattern that could be looking to shape up if you do get a daily close towards the end of the day looking like that. Obviously, we've still got a lot of trading time before the daily candle closes, so it'll probably look different when it closes. But if it does look something like this, could be seeing a nice push to the upside potentially for USD CHF. And my other trade, GPAUD. Again, not too much has happened with this one. Got in on the previous bullish candle on the 4-hourly chart. Looking for a swing into this support level here in the market. Again, nice support. Looking for a swing to there. And then if you break past that, looking at this level here, as you can see, resistance, support, support, resistance. So really key levels in the market. Looking for a swing back to the upside from. And again, right down here is the right lows, the weekly lows of GPAUD. So looking for a bounce to the upside. So far, again, not too much has happened. You can see in the hourly as well. Again, not too much has happened. There might see some retrace first before this trade works. But yeah, currently staying on my trades. Nothing too much has happened. Nothing too much to report on. Probably will be in them again tomorrow and see how they get on. And I'll talk about them during my live stream tomorrow as well. So make sure you're there to check that out. But like I said, it's the end of the live stream. Hope you all found it useful and enjoyed it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also leave a like on the video if you're feeling generous. But like I said, at the end of the video, I hope you all found it useful. And until the next one, I will see you later.